Today we will complete Grammar Chapter 2, and this lesson is in your textbook on page 105. Objects. Objects are complements that do not refer to the subject. Objects follow transitive verbs, verbs that express an action directed toward a person, place, or thing. Example: Lee Trevino sank the putt. The object putt does not explain or describe the subject, Lee Trevino. Sank is a transitive verb, not an intransitive verb. Transitive verbs may express mental action. For example, believe, trust, imagine, as well as physical action. Give, hit, draw. Example: now I remember your name. Remember what? Name. A direct object is a noun, pronoun, or word group that tells who or what receives the action of a verb or shows the result of the action. A direct object answers the question whom or what after a transitive verb. Examples: germs cause illness. Germs cause what? Germs cause illness. Illness shows the result of the action of the verb. Peter said, Gesundheit. Peter said what? Peter said Gesundheit. Gesundheit receives the action of the verb. Lucy visited me. Lucy visited whom? Lucy visited me. Me receives the action of the verb. What a scary movie we saw. We saw what? We saw a movie. Movie receives the action of the verb. They were taking whatever was left. They were taking what? They were taking whatever was left. Whatever was left receives the action of the verb. Page 106. Direct objects are generally not found in prepositional phrases. Examples: Josh was riding on his bicycle. Bicycle is part of the prepositional phrase on his bicycle. The sentence has no direct object. Josh was riding his bicycle. Bicycle is the direct object. Identifying direct objects. Identify the direct object in each of the following sentences. Let's do number 1. This article gives interesting facts about libraries. Facts is the direct object. Number 2, the city of Alexandria in Egypt has the most famous library of ancient times. Library is the direct object. Number 3, this library contained the largest collection of plays and works of philosophy in the ancient world. The direct object in this sentence is collection. Number 4, the Roman Emperor Augustus founded 2 public libraries. Libraries is the direct object. And number 5, fire destroyed all of these libraries. All is the direct object. An indirect object is a noun, pronoun, or word group that often appears in sentences containing direct objects. An indirect object tells to whom or to what, or for whom or for what, the action of a transitive verb is done. Examples: Natalie knitted her friend a sweater. Natalie knitted a sweater for whom? For her friend. My little sister sang me a song. My little sister sang a song to whom? To me. Uncle Gene sends whoever requests it a pamphlet on earthworms. Uncle Gene sends a pamphlet to whom? To whoever requests it. Page 107. If the word to or for is used, the noun or pronoun following it is part of a prepositional phrase and not an indirect object. Examples, objects of prepositions. My teacher showed the bird's nest to the class. Class is the object of preposition. I left some dessert for you. You is the object of preposition. Indirect objects. The teacher showed the class the bird's nest. Class is the indirect object. I left you some dessert. You is the indirect object. Both direct and indirect objects may be compound. Examples. Lydia sold cookies and lemonade. Compound direct object. Lydia sold Geraldo, Freddie, and me lemonade. Compound indirect object. Do not mistake an adverb in the predicate for a complement. An adverb. Go inside, Skippy. Inside is an adverb telling where. A complement. Tamisha sanded the inside of the wooden chest. Inside is a noun used as a direct object. So now we're going to identify direct objects and indirect objects. Identify the direct and indirect objects in the following sentences. Make sure that you give all parts of compound direct and indirect objects. Example, sometimes I read my little brother stories from Greek mythology. Indirect object, brother. Direct object, stories. Let's do number one. In one myth, the famous artist and inventor Daedalus built the king of Crete a mysterious building known as the labyrinth. Building is the direct object. King is the indirect object. Number two, the complicated passageways of this building give us the word labyrinth, a maze or confusing structure. Us is an indirect object. Word is a direct object. Number three, after the completion of the labyrinth, the king imprisoned Daedalus and his son, whose name was Icarus. Daedalus and son are both direct objects. Number four, to escape, Daedalus made Icarus and himself wings out of feathers and beeswax. Icarus and himself are indirect objects. The direct object is wings. And number five, he gave Icarus careful instructions not to fly too near the sun. Icarus is an indirect object. Instructions is the direct object. Page 108, identifying complements. Identify the complements in the following sentences. Then tell whether each complement is a predicate nominative, a predicate adjective, a direct object, or an indirect object. If a sentence does not contain a complement, write no complement or NC. Example, my brother Bill gave Mom a birthday surprise. Mom is the indirect object. Surprise is the direct object. In the following paragraph, my brother made Mom a birthday cake. My brother made who? Mom. So Mom is the indirect object. What did he make? Cake. So cake is the direct object. Number two, however, the project soon became a fiasco. Fiasco is the complement. Number three, first Bill cracked 3 eggs in a bowl. Eggs is the complement. Number four, unfortunately, bits of the shells went in too. Number four is not a complement. Number five, then he added the flour and dry ingredients. Number five are both direct objects. flour, ingredients. Let's go back to number one. My brother made is an indirect object. Cake is a direct object. Number two, the word fiasco is a direct object. Number three, eggs is a direct object. Number four, there's no complement. Number five, flour, ingredients, direct objects. Number six, the electric mixer whirled the batter right on the ceiling is a direct object. Number seven, the batter was so sticky that it stayed there and didn't fall off. Sticky is a predicate adjective. Number eight, Bill did not clean the ceiling immediately and the sticky substance hardened overnight. 8, ceiling is the direct object. Number 9, Mom was not angry, but she did give Bill a suggestion for a gift. Angry is a predicate adjective. Bill is the indirect object. Suggestion is direct object. And number 10, a clean kitchen would be a great birthday present. Present is a predicate nominative. All right, let's go to page 109, classifying sentences by purpose. A sentence may be classified, depending on its purpose, as declarative, imperative, interrogative, or exclamatory. A declarative sentence makes a sentence and ends with a period. Examples: Jody Williams won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1997. That one-celled organism is an amoeba. Number 2, an imperative sentence gives a command or makes a request. Most imperative sentences end with a period. A strong command ends with an exclamation point. Examples: please keep to the right. That's a request. Take care of your little brother, Rick. That's a command. Stop. That's a strong command. Notice in these examples that a command or a request has the understood subject, you. Page 110. An interrogative sentence asks a question and ends with a question mark. Examples: can they finish in time? How did she find Yoshi and Sarah? An exclamatory sentence shows excitement or expresses strong feeling and ends with an exclamation point. Examples: what a good friend you are. The battery is dead. I can't believe this is happening. In conversation, any sentence may be spoken so that it becomes exclamatory or interrogative. When you are writing dialogue, use periods, exclamation points, and question marks to show how you intend a sentence to be read. Examples: they won, declarative. They won, exclamatory. They won, interrogative. In the following sentences, punctuate each of the sentences with an appropriate end mark. Classify each sentence as imperative, declarative, interrogative, or exclamatory. Example: there are many delicious foods from India. It should have a period at the end because it's a declarative sentence. Let's do number 1. Do you like spicy food? That's asking a question, so it's interrogative and it should have a question mark at the end. Number 2. Some Indian food is hot and some isn't. That's a declarative sentence and it should have a full stop at the end. Number 3. Sambar is a soup made with lentils and vegetables. That's a declarative sentence and it should have an full stop at the end. Number 4, save me some of those cured shrimp. That's an imperative sentence and it should have a full stop at the end. And number 5, what is that wonderful bread called? This is asking a question, so it's interrogative, and it should have a question mark at the end. This concludes our lesson in the textbook.